A strange and disturbing murder has taken place. Among the rubble by the railway tracks, a severed hand is found. The hand is missing its index finger, and a wedding ring is hanging from one of the other fingers. She's never seen anything like this before and feels nervous, but she pushes through and starts investigating the scene. She carefully looks around and finds the body of a man buried under the rubble. While still shaking, she notices a few clues. Bits of newspaper, a strange hexagonal screw, and some asbestos. As she examines the scene, she hears a train coming down the tracks. Not wanting the train to destroy the evidence, she grabs her flashlight and waves it wildly, trying to get the driver's attention. Luckily, the train stops in time, and the crime scene is saved. She carefully photographs the clues, including a footprint she finds near the body. To show the size of the footprint, she places a dollar bill next to it before snapping the photo. When the crime team arrives, however, her efforts aren't appreciated. Captain Yangdu, one of the senior detectives, mocks her for being a rookie. He dismisses her work and assumes that her role in the case is over. But then, a legendary figure in the police force takes notice of her. The male lead of the story is a brilliant detective known for his expertise in criminal psychology. He used to be one of the best at solving cases, but his life changed after an accident. 4 years ago, while investigating a crime scene, a steel beam fell on him, leaving him paralyzed from the neck down. He can only move his head and one finger, and he has lost all hope for the future. Despite his condition, when he sees the photos and evidence collected by the heroine, he's impressed. He realizes that she has a natural talent for investigation, even though she's still new to the job. As the male lead looks at the clues, he starts piecing things together. The victim's wedding ring suggests that the man's wife might be in danger too. He checks recent missing persons reports and discovers that a couple disappeared after taking a taxi from the airport. This could be them. The hexagonal screw found at the scene points to old steam pipes used underground, and the presence of asbestos confirms this. The male lead suspects that the killer is using these old steam pipes as part of their method. He also notices that the screw has rust, but not on the threads, which means it was recently unscrewed. From the torn pieces of newspaper, the male lead figures out that the next murder will happen at PM. On November 9th, the same day, they are investigating. Time is running out, and the team has only a few hours to stop the killer. They test the powder found at the scene, and discover it's made from crushed oyster shells. This reminds the male lead of an old case from 1938, where a woman's body was found buried beneath oyster shells before a building was constructed. The screw is also connected to underground steam pipes, and the asbestos was used for insulation. The male lead concludes that the killer is hiding underground, and the steam pipes will be the weapon used to kill the next victim. The steam is released every day at PM. The team rushes to the location. The male lead suggests and finds the missing woman tied up beneath the pipes. She's helpless as the killer unscrews the pipe, aiming it right at her. The team tries to stop the steam from being released, but the valve has been tampered with. At PM, the steam flows out, and the woman is scalded to death in a horrible way. Despite the tragedy, the heroine doesn't give up. She heads underground to search for more clues. The male lead guides her through the investigation over the radio. She finds a bone, some hair, and a piece of wood. The male lead asks her to collect the handcuffs used to bind the victim, thinking the killer's fingerprints might be on them. But the stress of the investigation overwhelms the heroine. The crime scene brings back memories of her father, who was also a police officer. He committed suicide, and she was the one who found his body. The trauma of that experience makes it hard for her to continue, and she walks away from the scene. The male lead later learns about her past and understands why she reacted that way. He apologizes to her and encourages her to move forward, telling her that the future is shaped by the choices she makes, not by the past. His words give her strength, and she decides to keep going. Through lab tests, the heroine finds out that the bone fragments she collected are from a cow. The hair is from a rat, and the wood has traces of soil high in nitrates. The male lead realizes that the killer is operating in an old slaughterhouse, where cow manure and rats are common. The heroine checks out one of the abandoned slaughterhouses and soon finds a body covered in rats. She fires her gun to scare the rats away, and the police rush in, thinking she's in danger, but they quickly see that it's just a dead body being eaten by rats. As the heroine continues to search, she finds a matchbox and another piece of paper. The killer has left tiny pieces of paper at all the crime scenes, and the male lead believes this last piece might be the key to solving the case. But just as the heroine is about to hand over her evidence, Captain Yangdu arrives. He has been put in charge of the case now, and he demands that she give him everything she has collected. With the case now officially under his control, the future of the investigation is uncertain.